After having an overlook of the centralized version control system, we'll have a look about distributed version control system. That is nothing but a best example to know is Git. Distributed version control system not only check out the latest snapshot of the directory, but they also fully mirror the repository. If the server goes down, then the repository from any client can be copied back to the server and restored it. Every checkout is full backup of the repository. Git does not rely on the central server, and that is why you can perform many operations when you are offline. You can commit changes, create changes, view logs, and perform other operations when you are offline. You can require network connection only to publish your changes. That's the only thing, that you will require network connections if you need to publish it. Let's understand the working of the Git. So the working directory, staging area, or you can see the index. The working directory is the place where the files are checked out, and in centralized version control system, like we saw in the previous chapter for SVN, developers make modifications and they commit directly to their repository. But Git uses a different kind of a strategy. Git doesn't track each and every modified file. When you commit an operation, Git looks for the files present in the staging area, that is the next area which you work on. These files present in the staging area are considered to be commit and not all the modified files. For example, you have modified file A and file B. It will not keep a track of each and every file. When you say commit, then it takes the overall staging area, that is your file A and file B, and then it is to be committed in the Git repository. So first is you can modify a file from the working directory. You can add the files in the staging area. You can perform commit operation that moves the files from the staging area, and after the push operation, it stores the changes permanently in the Git repository. So that is the major thing about Git. Next is about branches. Whatever we are doing over here is maintained in the branching system. That's why it is called as the distributed version control system. Branches are actually used to create another line of development. By default, Git has a master branch which is same as a trunk in the subversion. Usually a branch is created to create a new feature. Once the feature is completed, it is merged back to the master branch, and when we delete the branch, so every branch is referenced by the head which points to the last commit in the branch. Whenever you make a commit, head is updated as the last commit. So that we'll see once we check out for the environmental setup. So next in this chapter continuation, I'll show you how Git is installed. And before that, we should understand the online repositories for the Git. Two major sources are there. One is Bitbucket, second is GitHub. Bitbucket is an Atlassian project, and it's GitHub is also a place where the online repositories of Git can be stored. So the next thing which I need to focus and mention you about how Git has been installed and how the repository has been cloned and maintained in the system. So let's go to our browser. So this is a download structure for whatever important downloading aspects for Git. It has support with the Mac OS system, Windows, Linux, and Solaris. So we have all these systems over here. I have already downloaded the Windows system so that I'll show you the bash thing over here. I've already downloaded the software, so Git GUI is also there, and a bash scripting, like the command shell, is also there. The best thing is to create with the help of bash thing, create new repository. So it is ask for the directory. Suppose I go on for C drive and I say some folder. I'll create a folder first of all, a new folder, and the folder name is Git. Okay, so I have already created a repository. Now if there is something to be cloned and if there is something to be opened, so all the structure is present over here. So this is a GUI thing, but I'm mostly focusing on the command structure, that is nothing but with the help of the bash thing of Git, so which I'll tell you. So the git bash command, this helps you like the command structure. It is just like the Linux structure, which gives you the complete list. This it also gives you to the directory thing, like which one I want to switch it. So cd C drive. So I have switched to the C drive. If I say the ls, I get the list of the files. So that's how it actually works. We have vamp, blue is for the folders. So we have a git over here. So I'll move to git structure. Point to be noted, it is similar, absolutely similar like any other Linux thing. So Linux command terminal. So I have pointed to the git. If I want to reinitialize the repository over here, so I'll say git init. So I have initialized empty git repository with the master branch in it. Next focus is about how we need to clone it. So cloning the thing is done with the help of an online repository thing. How the online repository thing works is a simple thing, like it's done with the help of GitHub or Bitbucket. So I'll go to bitbucket.org. Over here, I've already created a repository. I have an account over here, so which is present over here. If you don't have an account, you need to create an account and make it. So I have a repository, name file upload. Now inside this file upload repository, I'm going to make a clone of it. So I'll click on this repository and it gives me a path of how Git cloning is actually done. Cloning is nothing but copying the particular program structure or the application structure in your system. So this is my online repository. If I click on clone over here, it gives me the complete command, git clone and the path name. So I'm just going to do a simple thing, is nothing but copying this path, and will move to my command prompt. That is my bash command prompt of git, and paste it. That's all, and just click on enter. So this will nothing help me to clone a particular file name. So I'm just waiting for that. Okay, it asks me for the credentials. So the username and the password. Username is Rajimkar, which I'm going to give over here, and the password is here. If it will authenticate properly, it will do it. If the authentication is failed, then it will give me the error. Again, I'll do a clone and enter the appropriate password and try it out. Let's check it out. I guess if I have forgotten the password, or else I'll reset the password and again try it over here. It does not take so much time. If the authentication fails, it gives the appropriate message. It always takes for the username and the password for cloning the particular repository. It will take a while. Yeah, the authentication has been failed. So best thing is nothing but to go to a browser and change the password thing. So I'm going to manage it, or in the simple way, I'll just log out from here and change the password. Whatever the username and the password, I have it over here. The same username and the password should be given to the while cloning a particular structure. So yeah, I made the changes in the password. Now I'll again do the cloning structure over here. Paste. Cloning to file upload. Then again ask me for the username and the password. It always takes a while because it's a kind of a slow process of authenticating with a given username and the password. Or better, we try to terminate it and do it again. Yeah. Fatal destination file upload already exists. So I guess it has already created the folder. Okay. Just do an ls. Okay, just go to our drive. Now inside the drive, I have a git folder. I'll just delete this particular thing. Again, I'll do the authentication of cloning into it. It always takes a while because it's kind of a slow process, because it's creating a complete copy of whatever it is present in bitbucket.org. So let's wait for a while. Okay, there is some internet issues, or else it definitely happens. Okay, yeah, it has cloned appropriately. So let's go to our folder. Yes, it's done. So we have an empty folder of file upload. Obviously, there was nothing existed in it. So we have created a cloning. So whatever folder was present in my bitbucket.org, it has been created over here. So this was a step of cloning a particular repository of Git in your system. So in the next chapter, we'll understand the complete life cycle of Git, like how Git exactly works and how it is different in compared to the SVN structure.